You want to have the ability to pull that trigger at any given moment. It's going to start with hand and feet preparation. Right now, we're going to go ahead and look at our step-ins. After we go through the legs, we have ball side foot forward. All we're going to do is step right into our shot. It's important that we pound the basketball, especially while we're working out. We won't want to go into this casually, right? It's not going to translate into a game situation. You want to make practice harder than the actual game. As we go through the legs, we're going to want to pound that ball. If you lose the basketball, that's fine. That's where you find your threshold, right? If you can do this all day long, right, you're not getting better as a basketball player. You want to push your limits. So really pound that ball through. Right now, we're going to go left foot forward. As we go through, once again, we're pounding that ball, and that pickup and that foot are going to happen at the same time. So we have our pickup or our gather, and we have our shot footprint. That's happening at the same time. Let's take a look. 2 bounces right into our through to our step in. We're going to be adding layers to our step-in. Right now, we're going to get right into our lift. Off our lift, we want to get forward ground off this. We want to get defender back on their heels. If we can push this defender back on their heels, we're in prime position to pull up and get ready and pull that trigger. Right after this lift, we're going to go ahead and anchor ball side foot. As we get into this through, we're right into our step-in. Constantly pushing that defender back on their heels. If they get back on their heels, they're not going to be able to recover in time and contest that shot. Once again, pushing that defender back, forcing him to guard basket. Let's take a look. Off this through, we're gaining ground, anchor, right into our step in. It's a quick pickup. Off that pickup, once again, foot and hand both jam at the same time. We're going to look at a couple options off the lift. Off this lift, we're going to go ahead and drive back that defender. We're covering positive ground. That's going to set up our Tim Hardaway. So we're just going through cross. Off this through cross, we're just going to look at right our shot. Off that lift, once again, bang, bang, inside, outside, right to our shot. Once we knock that down, we're going to get right into the next one. Let's take a look. Lift. Now, right after this cross, we're going to get right into our shot footprint. Inside, outside, hand to the ball, eyes to the rim. This is going to be our hezzy. Off this hezzy, that ball is coming right underneath our hand. So it's important we freeze that offhand just for a split second. Freeze it, let it go right underneath that offhand. Let's go ahead and finish right at the basket. Here we go. Off that lift. Bam, bam, shot footprint, hand to ball, eyes to the rim. Off our lift, as we mentioned, it's important that we cover ground, right? We're not just going into our lift. Say if we start at the NBA line, right? We don't want to just lift and land right behind the line. If we're going to lift, cover ground, we ought to end up at least to that high school line, pushing that defender back. Off this lift, we're pushing our defender back. When we land, we want to land in this drop. Left foot is going to stay behind. I'm landing right into this drop. When I land right into this drop, back foot first before ball side foot. we're gonna get right into our drop cross. From this drop cross, back front, we're planting that inside foot and reaching out to space. So once again, we're constantly moving. We're not talking about any sort of shifts, any sort of pauses. We're just letting our whole momentum carry us from the lift into the drop, into the touch, step back. So from point A to B to C to D, it's one fluid segment. Let's take a look. Off that lift, the drop cross into our touch, step back, all one fluid segment. Once again, staying fluid is gonna be the key. Fluid footwork. Left foot stays back, right into that drop cross. When we get into that drop cross, back foot hits first. Off that exchange, we have our inside foot down. When this inside foot is down, we're gonna leave it down. As we sail that hezi, eyes come up, hand to the basketball. Keeping that inside foot down, that's also gonna act as an anchor. As that defender closes in on us, we're gonna go ahead and anchor. Inside foot, stay down. Class.